Hello, hello, and welcome to Oracle Hour. My name is Sabrina Rising. I'm a spiritual mentor and a psychic medium, and it is my honor to channel spirit on your behalf. Welcome, everybody. I can see that we have new members here, and we have some returning community members. Hi, Jonathan. Hi, Rhonda. Hi, Dream Creator. Nice to see you. Hi, Jenna. Hi, Johanna. Beautiful. Thank you all for joining me live. We are streaming in a bunch of places: Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, obviously, and Instagram. So if I'm going to click here to make sure we're live on Instagram, if you are anywhere other than YouTube, you can see me. Nope. We're going to turn off Instagram. You can see me, but I cannot see you. So come and join us on YouTube at Sabrina Rising. That's my handle. And put your questions in the chat. We answer questions on a first come, first serve basis. I have my trusted moderator with me here tonight. Her name is Lorraine. She's awesome. She's in charge of your questions. So just go ahead and put your questions in the chat, and we will get to them shortly. Okay. So if you're new here, don't be shy. You can ask anything you want. You can ask anything about your personal life, your personal development journey, your spirituality, your guides, your loved ones, whatever it is that you feel on your heart that you need at this moment in time to receive clarity, to deepen your healing journey, wherever it is you are in your personal development journey. And for those of you that are not on a personal development journey, hopefully this broadcast will inspire you to start to create one and develop one so that you can access your own intuition and receive the guidance that these messages are really meant to serve you. Okay, so when I channel spirit, it's really about helping you through something difficult, helping align you with your essence, with the love that you are, with the peace that resides deep in your soul, underneath all of the conditioning and all of the human pain and suffering that we experience in this 3D reality. There is a deep wellspring, eternal resource of peace that we can access at any point in time. And there, of course, there are powerful energies at play, especially this week. We've started our Lionsgate portal. For those of you that are familiar with the Lionsgate portal, and even if you're not, I'll just give you a brief explanation. It started roughly around July 26th. It peaks around August 8th. So 8/8. The 8 is the symbol of infinity, and it kind of tapers off around August 12th. This Lionsgate portal historically has been sort of celebrated as when the sun and Sirius, which is a star in the sky, and the Earth's belt and Orion are all in alignment, and the veil thins. And during this portal, it's an accelerated window of personal power and manifestation and personal integrity and bringing forward all the things that we deeply, deeply desire. Okay, so of course, if you're on a personal development journey, it's always important to be in integrity. It's always important to go after the things that you want and to really harness your sovereignty and your own intuitive guidance to follow through on the things that truly matter to you. Okay, so this period of time just represents a window where the energy is very palpable. The sun in Leo, we feel it. We feel that part of us that wants to take center stage, that wants to be more visible, that wants to be seen and recognized for our gifts. So it's a really it's a powerful time to take advantage of this energy and really get clear on what your intentions are. You know, if you've been feeling that pressure to move forward in life, to make a decision, to go for the thing that you want, to take action, you're literally being forged in the fire to be able to move forward and do the thing that you've been talking about, that you've been contemplating, that you've been sort of like maybe oscillating with. Like, now is the time. The universe is giving you that push to say, hey, walk through this doorway, take advantage of this portal and see what happens for you, like once you take the steps, right? So, and it's important because everything in our lives that's out of integrity, wherever we're not being honest with ourselves, wherever we're not being authentic with what we truly want, will be revealed during this time. So everything that's not meant for you will, it can't follow you on this path, on this journey that you're on. So these are all things that are coming up for healing, for letting go, for releasing, and for honest and rigorous self-evaluation so that you can clean house and travel light. I myself have been very inspired this week to, clean out my closet and declutter things and get rid of things that don't feel good, and, sort of tie up loose ends and wrap up old pending conversations or pending, things that I've sort of like, I'll deal with this later, all those things that we have in our lives, especially as life gets very, very busy. So all of those things are things we need to address now head on, just so that we can clear the way to bring forward forward in a very focused and very intentional energy what it is that we deeply desire most for our lives. Okay, so Sun in Leo is really about, heart-centered leadership, personal sovereignty, courage. Think of the lion. Think of the courage to hear me roar, to speak my truth, to shine, right? To share my gifts with the world. And of course, there doesn't have to be any sort of performative or perfectionistic way in which we do this. It just needs to be an authentic self-expression of that which you've been holding on to, that which you really hold dear, that you want to share with the world. This is your time to take the stage. It doesn't have to be a big stage. It can be just, having a voice in your family, or having a voice at work, or being able to share your truth in a relationship, or being able to just get honest with yourself as you look in the mirror, right? We want to make sure that we're creating this relationship with self from a place of love, honor, and integrity. Okay, self-honoring is the foundation for self-love, for self-care, and for good, healthy relationships with other people. Okay, and ultimately establishing a foundation of integrity for everything that we're manifesting in life. When we're honoring ourselves, we're allowing things to come into our life that feel good, that resonate, that match our value system, that are going to reflect back to us this same self-honoring standards that we've established. I answer a lot of questions here every week about relationships that are not working out, and who is love that's not being requited, or for example disappointment or letdown and suffering as a result of it. This is the time to really take an honest look at what is serving you in your life, and to adopt the things that feel good, that feel like they're in alignment, that feel that you can take personal responsibility for, and to let go of everything else that you have no control over, that is a source of disappointment or stress, or that just doesn't feel good in your body. If you are betraying yourself in any way, whether it's in your word that you give to yourself or others, or the things that you've committed to, or what you've allowed to show up on your calendar or in your life or in your relationships, this is the time to acknowledge those agreements and to renegotiate what doesn't feel good for you anymore. Okay, so again, it's very difficult to manifest, to call in abundance and joy and love when we are cluttered with, low vibrational frequencies, when we're stagnant and we're stuck and we're, operating from guilt or fear or doubt and so on. Okay, so we want to make sure we're doing the inner work. Of course, I talk about this every week. Do the inner work to clear your space, to really open your heart and to feel good, keeping in mind that every moment is new. Every moment is an opportunity to hit the reset button, to start fresh, to clear our slate, and to call in that which we deeply, deeply desire. This takes courage and willingness to let go. It also takes a deep knowing that you can have whatever your heart desires, simply by believing it, by trusting it, by practicing these beliefs and embodying them, so that you can magnetize them into your life effortlessly. Okay. And during this Lionsgate portal, the energies are particularly favorable for quantum leaping and accelerating manifestation, and really being able to jump into the spaces that you have been dreaming about for so long. But it's not going to happen without you taking action. Okay, so this is not the time for contemplation, for vision boarding. That time is come. It's here. It's there. It's not going to serve you all the way through this portal. It's time to take the actions that are going to allow you to walk through this very potent time, and really come out the other side feeling like I took a chance and I did it, and here I am, and I can acknowledge myself. And this helps us establish self-confidence and inner strength and courage, and the deeper belief in ourselves. Okay, so this is my wish for you. It's my wish for all beings everywhere. Okay, so happy Lionsgate portal, everybody. Good to see you all tonight. Okay, so let's start. I just want to start off with like a deep diaphragmatic breath. So I've been talking fast here for 10 or 12 minutes. So a deep diaphragmatic breath. I'm going to invite every single one of you, those of you that have been paying attention, that have been watching from the beginning, we're going to visualize this Lionsgate portal, visualize this brilliant, brilliant gold light. Feel it coming from your heart. Feel it opening up your desires, allowing you to get clear and present to what those desires are. You can see yourself being surrounded by this beautiful golden light as well. So emanating around you and from within you. Just getting very clear and very intentional about what it is that you want to call in, what you want to embody. Right? If you had no fear whatsoever, if fear was not even in the realm of possibilities, if all you had was your courage and all you had to do was take that next step, what would be the thing that you go for? The thing that you deeply desire to embody, to feel, to experience. So give yourself permission to visualize that and to feel all of the feelings that are being stirred up in this practice if you're participating. Big belly breath. The diaphragmatic breathing helps you ground and embody and feel and expand internally and make space for more, for your cells to receive more information, guidance, wisdom, intuition, and to anchor into the present moment. So see yourself in whatever it is you deeply desire, whether it's a relationship, a successful career, a healthy body, financial peace, whatever that looks like for you. See, feel, and be in that energy and claim it as yours. I am worthy of this now. I am willing to receive this now. I claim this for myself now. Good. And so it is. Beautiful. Thank you so much for those of you that joined me in that beautiful practice. It doesn't take long to meditate, to visualize, to align our energy, to align our thoughts, feelings, language, action, so that we can feel really embodied and clear in what it is that we deeply desire. We can feel it right here, right now. It doesn't have to be in the future. It doesn't have to be something that feels far away. We can bring it into our sphere. We can anchor it into the present moment and really feel how true that can be for us in this moment. Okay, so feel free to go back and just listen to those few minutes and practice this throughout the week. Lionsgate is now, and the time to manifest is right here, right now. Of course, that's always true. It just happens to be more powerful during this window of time. Okay, so we will jump into some questions here in a moment. We've got lots of new people joining us. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, let's take the first question. And then what I'd like to also suggest as well for tonight, we're going to have, if whoever wants to come on live for some, to be on video with me for a reading, you're welcome to join us. I know I invited Jonathan. Jonathan's here. So we'll put the link here for anybody who wants to come and join us on screen for a live reading during Oracle Hour. You're going to go ahead and do that, Lorraine? Beautiful. There's the link to join me live. So Jonathan, if you're here and watching, I think you are, that's the link to join me. And if anybody else wants to join me live for a reading, that's the link. You just have to wait your turn. Okay. So in the meantime, we'll take the first question. Hi, Rhonda. Good to see you. Rhonda says, Sabrina, how important are lucid dreams for me on my development journey? So they're not necessary. So I just want to qualify. They're important in the sense where if they're happening, or if they're happening naturally, then obviously that's something you need to pay attention to, because there is an expansion of your clairs happening, clairvoyance in particular. And we want to really, look at that as a sign, as a sign that I'm opening up my clairs, I'm becoming more sensitive, I'm having these experiences in my dreams. So that's, something that you want to pay attention to. If lucid dreaming is something you want to utilize to expand your intuitive experience and perhaps to, visit other realms, or to really explore the depths of your own subconscious, your own experience, you can, of course, you're always in choice. And so you can choose to lucid dream. You can set an intention for that, and you can create the space for that in your, as you're going to sleep at night. And pay attention to what happens during those dreams, where you feel drawn to go, who you feel drawn to visit, the experiences you have, and make sure you journal them as well. But they're not necessary for your development journey. So we can, develop ourselves spiritually, we can develop ourselves psychically, even as channels, as mediums, without having to lucid dream. Okay, lucid dream just becomes part of our practice as we start to open up our clairs, because it's just something that can spontaneously happen to you. Okay, so just stay open to it, but I wouldn't seek it out. Only like do it if you feel drawn to it. If you feel like, oh, I want to experience this, or I feel a nudge, again, always honor those nudges. Okay, so as we've talked about before in your healing practice, as you develop your skills, so if you have the nudge to explore that, then honor it and do it without any expectations, without any attachments, just allowing the process to be what it is, and then always recording your findings, again, with no value judgments. Okay, just being able to record what comes through so you can experience it and be able to connect the dots. Usually what we experience in a lucid dream is the opportunity to revisit moments in our lives, or moments in, perhaps in other timelines. And so this is all valuable information for what your soul needs in this current 3D reality. The point of lucid dreaming is for you to gather this information and allow it to help you in whatever it is that you're dealing with on a 3D level. Okay, so hopefully that answers your question. It's really meant to help you as an aid. It's not necessary on your spiritual development journey. Okay. Hi, everybody. Oh my goodness, we have people here. Okay, let's add Jonathan to the stage.
Hey.
Hi, Jonathan. Welcome. Welcome to Oracle.
To be here.
Good. It's good. I'm so glad we're doing this. Okay.
Yeah.
So how can I channel spirit on your behalf? What would you like to know?
So, well, I have two questions, if that's
Sure.
okay.
Of
So
course.
the first one is, well, you already know I'm in a relationship, but you don't know the question I'm going to ask you.
Yeah.
So I'm in a new relationship for everyone who's watching. It's only about 2 months old. I'm really excited about it. And I'm going to be meeting her children for the first time, I think next week or the week after.
Good.
Any ideas how that's going to turn out? I'm a little bit nervous.
Yeah, that's very sweet. It's very sweet. You obviously deeply care about this person, which is, great. I think it's beautiful. I think there's a lot of synergy in the relationship. There's a lot of shared values and shared ideals. There's a really nice pace to the relationship as well. I think that mom, your partner, has been able to communicate that to her kids. Feels like she's already kind of set the stage and explained to them who you are and how important you are and so on. So it's not like you're walking into, children that are not expecting this, or not, they don't know what's happening. And here's what I want to say too. I really feel like these kids.
By the way, they're adults, I should say. They're adults.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but they're her kids, right? So they'll be her babies no matter what. But I hear you, and in the sense where, they have their lives, they're independent and so on. But what I want to say is that these children really have a longing for the presence of a positive masculine energy. Okay. And so I really feel like there's going to be sort of like a little bit of, might be a little bit of trepidation, a little bit of caution, a little bit of like wondering, who this guy is, type of thing. They're really relying on mom's, I want to say the sort of the what she has set up as far as this introduction is concerned. They're really going on her word. They trust, they love and respect their mom very deeply, and so it's kind of like, I feel like one child will be a little more guarded than the other. Okay. One child will be a little more guarded. The other child, that feels like the female child, will be like, more open and welcoming, and, just like happy that her mom's happy. Okay. So I feel like that's definitely there, but unconsciously, and maybe not so unconscious, perhaps these children are aware, there really is a need for, like, there's a desire for, positive masculine energy. Just that presence of father, which I know that you bring. I know that you're very caring and very nurturing presence. And so that emanates from you. And I think even the daughter, the older child, will remark that her mom seems calm in your presence. Okay. So I'm excited for you and how this is going to unfold. And, I would just be really unassuming about it, go in friendly, Don't try too hard. Just be your loving, charming self. And, this is, by the way, this is one of my favorite Leos, everybody, during the Lionsgate portal. This is just be your loving, Leo self, and all will be well. Like you're really going to feel welcome by them. Don't be discouraged by the younger one who's a little more guarded, right? Who's a little more like wondering, the younger one seems to have more issues with the masculine energy. Okay. So there's be a little bit of having to earn their respect or having to earn their trust. Okay. Which is normal. Nothing unusual. This is very positive. I love this for you, but keep the slow pace. The slow tempered pace is what's making this relationship very rich, very deep, very meaningful for both of you.
Well, it's interesting because the follow-up question is, I'm in the honeymoon period and I love this space.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel slow or fast. It just feels right. So like, how long will that last?
I think it's a matter of context, right? Yeah. So like if you are, I want to say that this person that you're dating, is very good at the romantic part. Okay. She's very good at the romantic part. She's very whimsical. She's very, magical, dreamy, romantic. She seems like a very sort of like ethereal type of energy, and I also feel like there'll come a time when things feel routine or monotonous or regular or and this person will need things to shift a little bit. But that doesn't mean that there'll be a change in the honeymoon phase. It just means it's an opportunity to revisit how, the frequency of how you see each other, what you're doing. Like there's the person, like this person is going to ask you to go deeper and for more, right? That's coming. Okay. Yeah. So just be ready for that. Okay. So the honeymoon phase can last as long as you want it to, as long as you're willing to recontextualize your relationship and to add dimension and layers and making sure that both of you are getting your needs met. Okay. I don't see an end in sight. I don't see any like major blocks or fears or issues or anything like that coming up. Just some pain around her kids, which I think she's already dealing with. And that's something, an area where you can be supportive. Okay. Make sense? Right,
cool. Yeah.
We started. There's like a whole bunch of people here that want readings.
Oh, I'm so excited. Well, thank you so much. You're the best. I'm so grateful. Can I give you a hug?
Yes, please. Thank you so much for being here. I love you, and my blessings to your partner. And I can't wait to hear how this turns out for you.
I will come back on and let you know how that goes.
Yeah, please come back and let us know how it unfolds. We all want to know.
All right.
Okay. All right. Bye, Jonathan. All right. Good. Who wants to come on next? Hi. Hi, Sanwan. How are you?
I'm doing okay.
Yeah. You're doing okay. Good. How can I help you?
This has been a very, very tough journey.
Mm-hmm.
My twin flame, I don't know what's going on, but I know what's going on. She's like
running.
Yeah, and
yeah,
she did spell work on me on April 13th, and I don't know if she's envious of my energy, but I've been doing the work my entire life path. I've been doing the work. I've been doing the meditation. She decided to do spell work on me, block my crown chakra or try to block it. So my strength to source hasn't been as strong as it normally is. My sacral energy has been feeling drained, and it feels like people are feeding off of my energy every day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's been a very tough life path. It's like I always have obstacles in every part of my journey. It's like I never can just be and live a normal life.
Yeah. Okay, so now here's where you get to choose, right? So here's where you get to choose, because now as you're talking, I'm hearing a lot of victim energy, a lot of, and I say this with love and respect. This is especially during this Lionsgate portal, this is all about personal sovereignty and courage and choosing and empowerment. Like, what do I really want in my life? And so I would advise you, first of all, I feel this relationship with this person has been kind of on and off and back and forth, and it feels very sort of unstable and volatile. So the first thing I would do is set a very clear boundary. Okay. This is not a relationship where, she is fully self-responsible. It seems like she's not being fully self-responsible with what she needs and what she wants and how she's willing to show up. So if I were you, I would take stock of how you feel and your experience and really unplug from this energy. Okay. You get to choose how your life is going to go. You get to create energetic boundaries. You get to cut these cords and not be part of this cycle of toxicity anymore, because there's something that you want from this person. There's something you want that exists outside of you, and it's not coming, right? And so it's become a source of suffering. And I want, like spirit wants you, I want you to take your power back and to, and to sort of cut all of this off so that you can feel whole, right? You're meant to feel whole. The twin flame journey, as you describe it, which is not really a concept that I fully endorse, only because it gives us the idea that there's this duality in the here and now. There is no duality. We're all connected. We're all one self. Okay. There's only this experience of oneness, which you are here to physically experience, emotionally experience, and spiritually experience in this lifetime. So as you come into this awareness, I am whole and complete. I am a sovereign being. I am the source of my own experience. As you come into this awareness, you free yourself from all these lower vibrational frequencies. These entities can attach themselves to you if you are sovereign and powerful and glowing with your own divinity, right? With your own self-responsibility, your own power. You're only susceptible to these energies if you're not, if you believe in them, and if you feel like you can be victimized. Do you understand? If you step out of victim consciousness and into creator consciousness, I am the source of my reality, and I choose who gets to love me. I choose who gets to be in my sphere. I choose who I interact with. I choose who I'm going to allow into my life, who I'm going to give my heart to, right? If you're being radically self-responsible with your energy, then you get to cut all of this off and you get to stop suffering. You don't need to suffer anymore, okay? And I want to say this on your behalf and on behalf of your spirit team and your spirit guides. I actually feel a grandmother presence here for you, and she's like kind of coming in and saying, like, remember who you are. Remember who you are. Remember where you come from. Remember your heart. You are loved. You are not meant to hurt like this, to long for this. This is a direct correlation to your longing for the presence of the maternal, right? The maternal line in your family, mother, grandmother, and so on. It's like the women in your family are coming through and saying, hey, like, you deserve to have love. You deserve to have integrated feminine energy. It's not going to come from this person. It's something that you need to embody on your own journey to self-realization. Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes sense.
Yeah, good, beautiful. I want you to stop suffering. I want you to cut this person off. I want you to cut off all these ideas, and I want you to really focus on closing in all of your energy centers. Surround yourself with brilliant white light. You can use the gold light meditation we did tonight. There's also other meditations on my YouTube channel, but just closing off, cutting any energetic cords, and protecting your energy, and really making the choices that empower you. Okay. Don't say yes to anything that doesn't feel good anymore.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yes, makes sense. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for being here. We're going to take the next question. Okay. Thank you so much for being here. All right. Good. Who wants to come on? Here we go. Hi, Maria. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you as well.
Thank you for joining us live.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually asked the question, and I wanted to say that I listened to your video this afternoon about energy and how energy is so important.
Mm-hmm.
Protect yourself, attract what you want. Energy is vital for your persevering,
Yeah.
and working on my my soul contract and the things that I honor. And that really hit home, because I know you have touched me in a couple of ways.
Beautiful.
Just to remind you, my son passed away, and he's with me. I know he's with me.
Yeah.
And my question is, I'm trying to be strong, and I know he has come through me saying, "You're strong, Mom. You're strong. You can do this."
Mm-hmm.
And he lived in Nevada. The family's in Nevada. I'm in New Jersey. Two totally different locations across the country.
Yeah.
And I'm flying in October, but do you see the 3,000 miles, distance to continue, or do you see either the family moving from Nevada to New Jersey or New Jersey to Nevada? That like I think there has to be some
Yeah.
closure here, not closure, but you know what I mean. Some like one of us has to make the move because I
It's
don't.
gonna be you. It's gonna be you, Maria. It's gonna
Ah,
be you. But you already know that. Don't you already feel that in your body? Like you already know that, and your son wants you to go, right? Like he wants you to go as well. Or is there two grandkids?
yep.
Yeah. So these two, so there's a real need for you there. Okay. There's a need for your presence, for your energy, because that's his energy coming through. It's almost like he wants you to be there to make sure that his legacy gets passed down to these children. That there are certain traditions, or certain family traditions, or certain things that you honor, certain things that you bring to the home environment that won't exist without you there. Does that make sense? It goes beyond, and you know what I'm talking about. Like there's certain very specific things that your son is like, look, hard, they're not gonna know about this if you don't show them. They're not gonna, like, they'll forget me and where I came from and where they came from. And so it's really about, being able to communicate the family history, the roots, the lineage, talk about their grandfather as well. This is so important. You know what I mean? So, this is your son wants you to go. And I think that it's time for you to move, and you feel like the more mobile one anyway, right? So it's very important. I also feel like his partner, I'm assuming it's the wife, that the widow, is really struggling. She's really struggling to accept what happened. She's really struggling to deal with the loss. She hasn't come into full acceptance yet. She's kind of in denial. She's really not in a good place. And so she needs, they need your energy, your light, to be there to perk up the situation and to bring love and to bring healing and clarity. Does that make sense? Okay. She needs to lean into you. Her mom is not fully there for her. Does that make
Correct.
sense?
Correct.
So yeah. So she needs that energy from you, because she doesn't really fully know how to be a nurturing, loving, emotionally available mom, because that was never modeled for her. Okay. So she loves her kids, but she doesn't have you. I feel like you bring a lot of tradition, a lot of like, ritual and things like that the children can look forward to, that would be, that would tie in very nicely into their home environment. You need to be there. They need their grandma.
Do you see a timeline when, I know dates are hard. Do you see in a year, and 2 years? Do you see me?
Well, here's the thing about this Lionsgate portal. Let's just talk about that for a second. Like, we can jump timelines in this portal. So like, it doesn't have to, you can go whenever you're ready. You just need to make a decision in your body. You don't have to wait for circumstances to lend themselves to you. Okay. Or you don't have to wait for the right moment. There is no right moment. You just need to decide in your body that this is what you want, and this is how you want to proceed. And, everything will open up to accommodate your choice. This is the power that we have. Okay. So when we're manifesting, you can just visualize yourself there. You can set your intention. There's something that's holding you back from moving, right? You're attached to your home. I know there's a lot of sentiment there. I know there's a lot of history there. I know you don't particularly like Nevada. Feels like, it's like you don't really know people there. It's not your place, right? I get it. Like, it's a totally different, it's completely different energy, different vibe. And so, you don't want to leave your friends and the things that you have for you, right? Like, do you really, can you really sacrifice everything that you know to be there for this family? And what I want to say to you, and your son is saying this very clearly, is that you're going to find your people there.
Okay.
You're going to find your people there. Okay. And follow the music. There's something about music that's coming through as well, in terms of messaging, in terms of maybe it's something that you and him connected on, or you and him shared, but he wants you to follow that. It's either an activity that you can do when you're there. Maybe you go to concerts, or you go out and you connect with the music. I don't know if that connects with you, but like, there's something about following the music that will allow you to establish community there, to make some friends, and to find your place there. Okay.
I think you're absolutely right. It's not a place that I ever thought, when I retire, I'm
Yeah.
gonna, but I think once I find my space, I'll be sort of like garden is something that I water, garden, nature, and I think I'm gonna find my space there when I get there, and I'm inching, and I did miss Sabrina. You offered like a group mediumship in June.
Yeah. Yeah.
I missed it because it was just a hard month for
Yeah,
me.
that's okay. That's okay.
It
We
was
have one every month. If you join the channel, if you join my channel, there's one
I
every
recently
month.
did.
Oh, okay, good. Beautiful. So welcome to our Inner Oracle community. We do a psychic gallery every month. We do a mediumship circle every month. So just stay tuned for the email that will alert you to that, and then you can participate. Okay.
Because I'm looking forward to that.
Good.
And
Good.
thank you. I think the energy's there, and I think once I make that decision to move, then things will fall into place.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. So good. And just, and connect with, there's something about the music too. There's something about either concerts or things like that you can go to where you're going to meet, you're going to find your people. Okay. So that keeps coming through. I'll see you in the psychic gallery and in the
Well,
mediumship, and we'll connect with your son, and we'll get more clarity on when to go and what to create when you're there. Okay.
so I'll get an email for sure, right?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us live. All right. Beautiful. Oh, my love. All right. This is so fun. Hi, Alexa. Hello.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I sure can. How are you?
Sorry, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine. Yeah.
Okay, my connection's been a little wonky and I'm not
Yeah.
at home right now, so
Okay, we'll do our
my
best.
sorry?
I said we'll do our best. We'll do our best.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. My question is, I have 3 people that I've thought about reaching out to, I guess, create closure and or peace, and I've kind of avoided these conversations, some of them for like a year and a half now. So
Yeah.
I'm wondering if there's any guidance on dealing with these, or if those conversations are necessary or something that would be of benefit.
Always, always, always have the conversations. Always. This is Lionsgate portal energy, by the way. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Just give me a
Yes, I
thumbs up.
can.
Okay, good. So this is totally Lionsgate. Like, it's pushing us, right? Think about the Leo. Think about the Leo energy. Like, clean up your life, live in integrity, have the courage to do the thing that you've been avoiding and postponing and not dealing with, right? You have to move forward with clarity on all 3 of these relationships. One of them is a male, I feel. And that one in particular, there's 2 males, but there's one male in particular. I'll give you the distinction. It feels like I'm seeing like a younger guy with like wavy hair, kind of fair, maybe dirty blondish, this one in particular, you know who I'm talking about? This one in particular is like the one that you need to really, it feels like there's a real emotional entanglement here. Okay. Like there was some hurt that happened and some, I want to say feels like broken heart energy, like your disappointment, letdown, and so on. This particular conversation is going to be so beneficial. I mean, all 3 of them I would interact with. The female feels less significant. It feels more like, it was just something that happened and she's probably already forgotten about it. This is more for your personal, inner peace than it is for hers. But I think it's really valuable to take personal response. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to address these people, and not by addressing what happened, but I want you to address these people by talking about how you feel about what happened. Okay. Because this is for you, and they're welcome to join you in this sort of clearing, grievance clearing session if they feel so inclined. But this is really between you and spirit, right? You're doing this to get resolution for yourself so that you can move forward in your life and not have these sort of messy entanglements kind of hanging in the ether, like on your conscience, or dreaming about them or thinking about them, or, you want to be able to run into these people and not feel awkward or uncomfortable. You want to have peace, right? This is ultimately what we're all here to achieve, is to feel at peace with ourselves and our choices. So the guy in particular, there needs to be some healing there. He's got some things he needs to say as well. It feels like he's a little bit afraid of you and what you might say, he's kind of like afraid of the outcome. And so I feel like this has been a mutual point of avoidance for both of you, but I feel like it's going to be very beneficial, honestly. Like, I would never send you into harm's way if I felt like, hey, this is, probably not safe or not, going to be welcomed or well received. I feel like it will be, the female relationship, like I said, she's kind of indifferent. She might act like a little bit like, this is coming out of the blue. But if you come from your heart and say, look, I just want to address how I feel about what happened. I don't like the way things unfolded. I don't like the choices I made. I don't like how we left off. It's important to me to make sure that I take responsibility for my interactions, for my relationships, and, let's just clear the air. Okay. And if you're willing, and then of course, I'd love to hear from you. Okay. So this is how I want you to handle these situations. It's really important that you do this. Because the pattern of avoiding conflict is something that's up for transformation. If you choose, okay, this is a long pattern that you have, right? Avoiding conflict, not dealing with the hard stuff, not having the uncomfortable conversation, hoping it all goes away. And so, this is not a foundation of integrity. Okay. It's not going to serve you in the life that you want to create. And it also affects our nervous system. Okay. So when you have pending conversations and that there's things you need to address and that you haven't addressed, we can't fully relax. Okay. So I want you to have peace. So I would recommend you addressing all three of these people with love. Make sense?
Yes, it does. Thank you. Do you have any, sorry for the background noise. Do you have any guidance on the third connection, perchance? That one's pretty heavy for me. So
the guy that I felt, the first one I picked up on,
the one that you didn't speak on, it's the other guy.
Okay. I see. Yeah. Like I said, I feel like this is the one there's a lot of emotional entanglements, right? So, and like I said, if you go in just with a sincere heart's desire to make peace, I feel like you're going to be well received. Okay. I don't see it being, he's got a world of hurt. And so be prepared for that. Okay. But it's okay. You're going to survive this conversation, right? I want you to have courage, and I want you to trust in the process that love is more powerful than fear. All right. It really is. And if you go in with your heart and you go in with, like I said, no attachments to any outcome, you just hear me out. It's going to be, this is what I want to say. I would love to hear from you. Like I mentioned, this is nonviolent communication. Just deal with him from that perspective, and it's going to work out. You need this, and you need to close it. Okay. So there's no revisiting in, especially this really heavy connection. If that's something that you like, if that shows up and so on, there's no revisiting. It's done. It's just a matter of cleaning it up and putting that healing balm and making peace so you can go your separate ways. Both of you feeling good about yourselves. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for joining us live, Alex. It's good to see you. All right. Hello, Erin. You're on mute. Unmute yourself. Hi, we still can't hear you. I can see you. I can see your pretty face, but I can't hear you.
No?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Oh, okay.
Hi.
Hi.
Nice to see you here. My goodness.
You know what's funny is I was scrolling through TikTok stories. And I saw your reminder and I looked at the time and it was exactly 5 o'clock.
Perfect.
It's like, well, universe just wants me here tonight. So
that's amazing. It's amazing. How can I help you? How can I channel spirit?
okay. So I really enjoyed what you spoke about with Alexa. That resonated for me. So I'm no longer in my marriage, and it has been, let's just say I'm lucky to still be sober through this entire thing. And I've been trying to communicate with him to come get the rest of his stuff. I have dropped off everything.
Yeah.
Like I've dropped off everything, and I've been wanting him to come and get his stuff. And I've been emailing saying, hey, can you please get it by this date? And then he won't message me until a couple of days before that date.
Yeah.
And then it's a big deal, right? For him. And anyway, I really just want to be clear, and like, I want to be free of this relationship. I want free of it. And
he doesn't want to be free of it. He doesn't want to be free of it. Yeah. He hasn't fully let go. You know, there's a real, when I tune into the energy of the situation as I'm talking to you, like he's really holding on. He feels very upset about this. Like maybe there's a possibility, maybe you just take some space for a little while, and he's kind of avoiding dealing with the reality of the finality of it. And perhaps there's a possibility for reconnection. And it feels like this is something that you might hear through a friend of a friend. Like it feels like you have mutual friends. It might be something that you hear through a friend about where he's at and what he's doing and that he's hurting. Does this make sense? Does this connect with you? So
yes. So people are coming to me saying, this is what's going on. He's not showing up with people. He's doing this. He's just not showing up.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I hear you.
And yeah.
And so, you know, I know that this is difficult. Like if you're clear that you want this to be over, then you need to be clear, because there's a little part of you, and I say this with love and respect. There's a little part of you that I want to say you kind of, it feeds something to know that he's still holding on. It feeds something. Okay. If you're really honest with yourself, and this is okay, you're human.
I'm desperately in love with him.
Yeah.
Like
so
I'm still in love with him. Like he was
stuff left.
Yeah. And I also know that I just can't be in the relationship the way that it always has, like the way that it's been in the last 3 years. I'm not willing to do that. We've been separated for a year and nothing's changed. And so means
hold on. Nothing changes if nothing changes. Okay. So nothing will change unless you're willing to do some work. Now, you mentioned something about being sober, and I want to say to you that there is an opportunity here to make amends for some of the chaos in your marriage. Okay. Some of that has really worn away at the fiber of the integrity of this relationship. Okay. So, you know, and of course, I don't know anything about your life. I haven't, you know, I think the last time we saw each other was 20 years ago. So, you know, I don't know anything about your life, but like, I want to say to you, like, you know, it feels like there's been a lot of wreckage, a lot of chaos, a lot of havoc that's been wreaked in your relationship. And he's hurting from that. He's kind of like spun around. He doesn't know his head from his tail. He doesn't know what's going on. He's confused. You're doing better. You know, like it's, you know, there's a part of him that's still holding on as well. Okay. So even though he's not being loving, even though he feels like he's just not loving in his language and in his actions, and he's careless and irresponsible with certain things. Okay. So it's hurtful. His behavior is hurtful because he's in a world of hurt. Okay. So I want to say that any two people that are willing and conscious and aware and ready to take personal responsibility can heal. I want to say that. Okay. So you can heal. If you're telling me you're desperately in love with him, but then there's another part of you that says, I want out. You don't want out. What you want is out of the pain, but you don't want out of the love. You want out of the pain. And this is true for you and true for anybody watching. And when you want to break up with someone, what we're looking for is a way out of our pain, right? What we want is more love. And what we do when we break up is we find a way out of our pain, but then we've lost the love. Does that make sense? So if you still have love for this person, if it's safe, appropriate, accessible, and you know, you feel drawn to it, the karma here is not over between you and this guy. Okay, so
that's the thing, though. It's that it's not safe for me. There's a lot of very serious mental health stuff on his side, and you know, I feel like I've done as much as I possibly can to help him, and he denies it. So, and that's why I left, because
I hear you, and so. I like the boundary, but you're not really setting the boundary, right? Because if you really wanted out, all of his stuff would be packed and out, right? And you'd be like, your stuff is on the lawn. It'll be there till 5 until, you know, whoever else comes to pick it up. Makes sense? So if you really wanted out, you would do it. So there's a part of you that's still holding on to. Okay. So, and again, I say this with
Yeah.
love and respect. I feel that if he's willing to get help, I really do. I feel like if he's willing to get help, the two of you can find a point of convergence. You can find a point of making peace and healing the marriage. Okay. I think that love can heal all things. Of course, this is my personal belief. And I want you to do the work to let go of your codependent attachments and, you know, your entanglements with this person, and really get clear with yourself about the kind of relationship you want to be in, how you want to co-create this with him, and invite him into the work with you. If he's willing, he'll step in. You know, he's got, like I said, he's in a world of pain. Okay. So I feel the abuse, as I mentioned before, I feel the abusive language. I feel the up and down, the volatility of it, as you mentioned, the mental health issues. So that makes sense. It's important that you create very clear boundaries about what you're willing to tolerate and how you want to navigate this going forward. Okay. So I'm going to leave you with that. I think it's not over. I think it's not over for you. So how could it be over for him? How could you expect him to come and get his things when you're still holding on energetically? It's impossible. Okay. So you're not clear, and that's why it's not a clear cut thing. Okay. So spend some time in deep reflection and getting very clear on what it is that you want, and then making that decision and inviting him in to do the work with you. If he says yes, wonderful, making sure that, you know, he follows boundaries and maintains integrity throughout the process. And as soon as it starts to feel unsafe, you have free will, you have personal sovereignty to choose to be in or to be out. Okay.
Okay.
Good. Beautiful.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Marin. Thank you for joining us live. It's good to see you.
Likewise.
Bye. Okay.
Hi.
Oh my goodness. Hello. Hi, Erin.
How are you?
Good to see you. I'm sending you a big virtual hug. Oh my goodness. Thank you for joining us live. How can I
Thank
help
you. I was just like so drawn to, I'm like, I'm just gonna come on here.
Oh, I
Just
love it.
leading with my intuition. So
Wonderful.
I have two
What do you do
questions.
here? Yes.
First, which I think the first one leads to the second one. So first of all, is there a message from my dad? Because in the last 2 weeks, I've had extremely vivid dreams about him, and I have not dreamt about him in 28 years. Like since he's passed, I've had maybe 3 dreams. But in the last 2 weeks, like I'm calling him, I'm talking to him, I'm on a time limit. It's just very, anyways, I thought maybe.
What do you mean you're on a time limit? Say more about
No,
that.
like when I was in my dream, I was on a time limit talking to him. Like
Yeah.
it was like,
Makes
yeah.
sense. Makes sense
Yeah.
because he's passed. And so the
Yeah,
window
yeah,
of connecting with him feels like it's like it has to happen
yeah,
now, right?
yeah. So
Okay, well, let me just tune in. I mean, this is
Okay.
my first time taking live reading, so I usually do mediumships in a 1-to-1 or in a demonstration.
okay.
Let's see what happens. Let's see what I can channel for you. The first thing I feel is a man on a sailboat. So I feel a person on a sailboat. He's out in the water. He really loves to be here. Okay.
Okay.
This man is, yeah, I want to say he's fair haired, and yeah, there's something about him in the water
Yeah,
and
that
baseball.
makes sense.
Baseball.
Baseball.
I don't know. There's a baseball glove. Baseball
My
glove.
son just walked in from a baseball game, so maybe that's
Okay, so this is the other message I want to give you, is that there's something to do with your son, and that's why your dad's coming through right now. So there is a connection to your son, and
interesting.
yeah, there's something that your son has of your father's, either attributes or talents or skills or
Oh,
something.
he literally looks like the whole side of that family.
He's
I
like
mean,
like your dad. He's like your dad.
interesting. Okay.
Dad is connected. What's your son's name?
Jack.
Jack. Yeah. So dad and Jack are hanging out, and if you see Jack, how old is Jack? At like 10?
10.
11?
Yeah,
Yeah.
10.
Good. So Jack, if you see Jack, it's okay to cry.
Oh
If you
yeah, you know. Yeah.
Jack talking and like connecting with, or like having conversations and so on, that's your dad who's helping you.
Interesting. Okay.
It's baseball. It's kind of like they're playing catch. I'm
Oh my God, that's
a
crazy.
baseball glove and a ball, like they're he's helping him, sort of follow this path. I feel like this was something that he didn't get to do. Maybe he didn't get to do with you, or he didn't get to do with
Yeah.
he didn't get to do this with
No.
saying he
No.
didn't get to do this with his kids, and so
Yeah.
he's doing it with your boy, you know.
Interesting.
So
Cool.
that's part of the reason why he's coming in. And he's also, the other thing I want to say to Aaron is like, that is telling you like, hey, I'm here. I've always been here.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Always
Yeah,
been
yeah.
here. You know, I know that I wasn't there. It feels like he wasn't fully there for you physically in your childhood.
Yeah.
And you had a lot of times away from him, you know, but he wants you to know that he was there. He was there at your wedding. And I see you in the white dress, and I see dad kind of in the background. It feels like, yeah, I'm just tuning into like the nature around the wedding. You know, was it an outdoor thing?
No,
No. Okay.
it was in a church that I didn't want to get married in. But anyways.
There's an outdoor part of it. There's an outdoor component at some point where it feels like dad's kind of there, just like witnessing this go down, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, you know, would love to go deeper with you in mediumship.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, it's funny because my second question is around
yes,
my career, because I've applied for a position that I wasn't even looking for. And of course I haven't heard. I mean, I've heard, but now it's been like a week and a half and I'm like, okay, let's move on. Tell me. But it's just like, do you see something in my career? Because I've been an entrepreneur now for 10 years and I feel this like sense of change that needs to come. And I'm not quite sure what it is.
So, and you want to go back into being, it feels like a much, okay. So it feels like a large corporation.
Yeah.
Okay. But it also feels like there's some aspect of like independent contractor, you know what I mean?
Yes,
like
large it is. Yeah.
That is where you have the opportunity to work for yourself.
Sort of. Yeah.
Within that structure.
Yeah.
So that feels like a real good, viable solution. So if that's something that you're contemplating, Spirit says yes, you know. It's interesting because it ties into the message with your dad around like, you know, like following your dreams, you know, like your dad who didn't give up on himself. Like he went for the thing that he really wanted, and he went for that. Like he was like, you know, he made the hard choices and he did the uncomfortable things, and he's saying, Aaron, like, you know, stop thinking about it. Stop thinking about it and start doing it. Stop contemplating it and go forward, you know, like, and it feels like, you know, there is, you know, there's some self-doubt and discouragement and that kind of thing that's showing up in your energy field. And he's here to boost your confidence, you know?
Yeah.
And this is what happens when, you know, we lose our loved ones, especially when we lose our fathers. I lost my father when I was 7 years old. And it's like, you know, when you grow up without one, it's like, you don't have the model of guidance and firm masculine that's teaching you how to like, you know, believe in yourself, you know, and create the things and put the structures in place and do the things in the world of form that are really going to provide for you and sustain you and help you feel safe. You need to feel safe. And that is, we're here to remind you that you are. You are safe. You're, you know, you are loved and supported. And, you know, it's time for you to develop more of a spiritual practice too. I would love to see you, you know, meditating more and opening up your heart, opening yourself up to these ideas and these ideas, writing down your dreams, you know, learning to code them. You know, there's a reason why you're here tonight with me live and why you're drawn to it. Like it's this is the way to start to harness this energy and to start to relate to yourself as powerful. You know, powerful. This company, you know, it feels very sunny. I don't know if there's a sun in the logo or a sun and something sun about it. I don't know. There's like a sunny brightness about this organization.
It's exciting. I just haven't. They've been very responsive, and then it's been a bit quiet. So I'm like, oh, you know. So the doubt is.
I feel good about this for you. I really do. I feel good about this for you. I feel positive about it for you. I think it's going to be something that really open. You just have to be clear on what it is that you want. You know, you're the one that's kind of muddling this up. Okay. So,
well, I was very clear at the beginning. It's just the last week I've been like, you know,
Yeah. It's okay to move forward in this direction. It really is. It's time. It's time for you.
Okay.
Give yourself permission. It's time for you to like step into what it is that you
Yeah.
deeply desire and to open yourself up to more of these practices as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know. Okay.
I know.
Okay. Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
You're the best.
Live. Awesome. Good to see all my love. All my love. Okay. All right, Lorraine, how are we doing for time? Oh my goodness, 6:00. All right. Guys, I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. Those of you that got your questions answered, thank you everybody who came on live. This was so fun. We'll probably do this again. If you have questions for the Oracle, as you can see, you can come on, we can connect and we can have a deeper conversation. I'm happy to do this for you. If you didn't get your question answered tonight, I'll be back here on Sunday at 5 p.m. Pacific. You're also free to book a one-on-one reading with me where we can go deep and interact, and you can ask as many questions as you want. I can do mediumship and answer more in-depth questions about your life situation. That's the link to book with me. There's a special going on in the summer for 30 minutes. I'm offering 30-minute readings now. So jump on that link. If you want to be part of our psychic gallery, of our mediumship events, if you want to be part of the Inner Oracle Circle community, join my channel. Join tier 3. Tier 1 will get you priority in the chat or priority on screen with me. And tier 3 will give you access to all of these events and exclusive content. You can be part of the community. You can learn, you can grow, you can develop your own spiritual gifts as well. And it's a lot of fun. Okay, so I'm sending you all of my love. Thank you for joining me live. It's good to be with you all. I will see you on Sunday. Good night.